Hello, my wonderful friend. Today's video is on 7 signs you are attractive and can get your dream girl in the new year. That sounds pretty cool, right? Let's be honest. You want your dream girl, right? We're going into the new year. I'm actually filming this video on New Year's Day, and anything is possible. We have a brand new, clean year ahead of us, and that is exciting. And even if you're watching this a little bit later and it's not the new year, it doesn't matter because it's never too late to start fresh, right? In this video, we're going to be talking about some things that make you insanely attractive to women. If you're looking to attract a classy, high-quality woman, these are the things you need to make sure you are doing. As we go through these signs, you're going to find some things that you're already doing. I want you to give yourself permission to be proud of yourself for that. That's a sign that you are more attractive than you realize, and that's a good thing, right? Now, there are also some things you're going to be seeing that you're not doing. That's totally normal, okay? This is not to discourage you. All that does is help you know where you can improve and what you can do better so that you're way more attractive than you already are. And when you have all these things in place, guys, that's how you get your dream girl. So if you're doing these things, that's how you make sure you get your dream girl. Does that make sense? Now, before we get started with the 7 signs you are attractive, there are 2 things I need to tell you. First, I've made a couple of other videos on this topic that you are also going to love. So if you haven't yet seen this video on 17 signs you're more attractive than you think you are, you need to watch it because it's going to surprise you. It's not what you think it is. So make sure you watch that one. Also watch this video, which is 7 signs people secretly think you are attractive. And that is more about body language and how people interact with you. Those are signs that you're attractive. So there are links to both those videos in the description below. I know you're going to love those as well. The other thing I need to mention is if this is your first time watching one of my videos, welcome. My name is Melannie. I'm a Christian dating coach for men. I teach you how to stop wasting your time and your energy on bad relationships by learning the skills instead to get your dream relationship. As a certified coach, I never teach you guys mind games or tricks and things that just don't work. I come from a Christian perspective backed by science. So make sure to subscribe, ring the notification bell, and give me a big thumbs up. All right, let's get started with the 7 signs you are attractive. The first sign that you are really attractive, that you have what it takes to get your dream girl, is that you have a growth mindset. So what is a growth mindset? Well, when somebody has one, they believe that they can grow. They believe they can improve and change. They believe that they are not stuck where they are. One of the biggest things I see keep awesome men single is the fact that they don't believe they can improve. They believe that if it's always been this way, it will always be this way. So then they don't do anything to change it. So guess what? They stay right where they are. But instead, someone who has a growth mindset, wow, that's an attractive person. A classy woman who is looking for a lifelong relationship, she's looking for someone who has a growth mindset, who sees the possibilities and who sees that life can improve. This naturally leads us to the second sign you are attractive, and that is that you are willing to learn. The growth mindset believes that you can change, believes that you can improve. And this sign, our second thing, is that you are willing to learn. You're willing to progress. Let's be honest, we're all human, right? It's kind of how it works. So we all have things we need to work on, and there's no shame in that. Anybody who tells you that they have arrived and that they are perfect, they are lying or they are delusional, one or the other. And so it's normal to need to work on things and improve. And if you are someone who is willing to do that, someone who is willing to learn how you can be better at relationships, how you can be better at dating, how you can interact with her better, how you can be more attractive. If you're someone who's willing to do that, you are very attractive, and that is a sign that you can get your dream girl. Now, our next sign that you are far more attractive than you realize is if you reject mind games. You reject those manipulative tactics that a lot of people teach when it comes to dating and relationships. You reject those toxic tactics, but you don't just reject those, you also embrace healthy skills and healthy strategies. It's one thing to just reject what doesn't work. It's another thing to reject it and also embrace healthy skills that actually work. If she's a classy woman, if she's a high quality woman, which is the only type of woman you should be trying to attract, right? If she's that kind of a woman, she's looking for a partner who has those skills because she also has those skills. She wants a happy relationship. She wants a lifelong relationship. And only people who have the right skills can have that. So if you are someone who says, I'm not playing mind games, I'm not ignoring her, I'm not playing hard to get, I'm not doing this silly push-pull method, all of these things, if you're someone who instead says, I'm not into toxic tactics, I am instead actively learning and embracing healthy relationships, you're attractive and you can get your dream girl because that's what she's looking for. Now, I know learning those dating and relationship skills can feel overwhelming. Don't worry, I am here to hold your hand and walk you through the whole thing. I have a free masterclass for you where I teach you more about this. There is a link in the description below, and I will also put a link in the pinned comment. If you are tired of tricks and games, if you're tired of trying everything and just kind of guessing what works and it not working, and you're ready to stop being lonely and get your dream girl, you need to make sure you watch that masterclass, especially if one of your goals is to have someone to hold by this time next year. So there's a link in the description below. I can't wait to see you over there at that free masterclass. Okay, our next sign you are attractive is that when you do learn new things, you take action. A lot of people learn good dating and relationship skills and then they don't do anything with it. They just keep learning about it, but they don't actually act on it. If you never act on it, all of that information is almost worthless, right? But if you are someone who is proactive about applying what you learn and you take those skills and they become a part of you, that's attractive. That's what she's looking for. And that's how you get your dream girl. Is this making sense so far? And would you like more videos like this one? If you are enjoying this and you want more videos on how you can get your dream girl and signs you are an attractive man, be sure to comment New Year in the comments below to let me know. And then I'll be sure to make more videos like this for you in the future. Seriously, it helps me so much. So please, right now, leave me a comment. Okay, our next sign you are attractive is if you understand toxic women and toxic traits and you avoid that. And really, it's not only toxic women, but also like toxic friends. If she's a classy woman, she understands toxic people and she does not want to go there ever, like ever. And so if she sees that you're hanging out with toxic friends, well, she's not interested, right? And if she's a toxic woman, you're gonna find yourself in dead-end relationship after dead-end relationship, and it's not going to lead you to your dream girl, right? That just makes sense. But if instead you're someone who understands toxic traits and knows how to see those signs and you avoid them, that's attractive, and that is how you get your dream girl. This leads us right to the next sign you are attractive, and that is if you understand toxic traits and you know when you see them in yourself. The reality is, all of us on this planet, again, we're human, we're not perfect. And so even if we're not a toxic person, it's very normal to have toxic traits. It just happens. Maybe you're a little bit selfish, or maybe you get a little bit jealous sometimes. Maybe you're a little bit clingy or a little too needy. These toxic traits are what scares women away because she's working on removing her toxic traits. So if you are someone who's also working on removing your toxic traits and your toxic habits, that's attractive. That's how you get your dream girl. Guys, I have to be really honest with you. I can't tell you, you guys know, if you've been following my channel for a while, I am very transparent with you guys about toxic women. They're real, they exist. You should never have anything to do with them. But I can't tell you how many men come to me and say, oh my goodness, all women are toxic, or this woman's toxic, and then they tell me, you know, this whole story. And I'm like, dude, you're toxic, and that is why you are attracting toxic women. So please, as honest as you are with noticing if she's toxic, also be honest if you are toxic, and look inward and be honest with yourself about that. If you're somebody who can do that, it proves that you have integrity. It proves that you're okay being vulnerable. It shows your inner strength, and that's something that Class A women are looking for. So remember to be honest and upfront about that. Okay, our next sign you are attractive is if you don't let the past hold you back. As I mentioned, we're starting a new year, which is insanely exciting. I love that. It's a good time to leave the old year behind, right? The same is true with relationships, and not just at the beginning of the year, at every point of our lives, every single day. You need to acknowledge the past. You need to acknowledge what you've been through and then let it go. Learn from it and move forward. This is true if you've been divorced, if you have never had a girlfriend, if you feel like you're always the ugly guy, or you've always been the guy who's in the friend zone, or the guy who's overweight, or if relationships have just never been your thing, or you've always messed them up, or whatever it is. That's ancient history. That is in the past. You are starting now and you are moving forward. And isn't that a really exciting thought? That's so exciting. Anything can happen in the future if you leave the past behind. Now, again, if you're struggling knowing how to move forward, don't worry. That's what I'm here for. I've got you. Make sure you watch that free masterclass. It is going to help you so much with this. Again, there is a link in the description below. If you are someone, even if you have to decide this starting today, if you are someone who says, my past doesn't define me. I am moving forward. I learn from it. I acknowledge what I've been through. You never want to take away from what you've been through, but don't stay there. Let yourself move forward. That is attractive. That is what she is looking for. And that is a sign you can get your dream girl. Okay, let's sum up what you have learned so far about signs you are attractive and can get your dream girl in the new year. The first sign is if you have a growth mindset. This is huge. If you're someone who sees that you can change and you believe that you are not stuck where you are, but that you can progress, that's a sign you can get your dream girl, and that's a sign you are very attractive. Next up, you have a willingness to learn and a willingness to improve. It's one thing to believe that you can improve. That's a growth mindset. But it's another thing entirely to be willing to make that progress. Our next sign you are attractive and can get your dream girl is if you reject the terrible advice. If you reject mind games and tricks and toxic tactics and instead embrace healthy skills and healthy strategies. This means understanding what a healthy relationship is and how to create it. If you're someone who can do that, you're very attractive and you can get your dream girl, because at the end of the day, it takes skills to get your dream girl, right? And again, if you're confused about how to do this, make sure you watch my free masterclass. The next sign is if you take action. It's one thing to learn new information. It's another thing entirely to actually do something with it, right? So if you are someone who's like, okay, I'm doing this and I'm going to apply what I learn, that's a sign you are very attractive and that you can get your dream girl. And again, if this is something you're not doing right now, that's okay. You can start doing it right now. The next sign is if you understand toxic women and toxic traits and you avoid toxic people, whether it's toxic friends or even just dating toxic women. You're never going to find your dream girl if you're hanging out with toxic women. So if you are someone who instead can identify that and avoid it, that's very attractive, and that is how you do get your dream girl. And next in line, we have being able to identify toxic habits or traits in yourself and being willing to improve on them. That is nothing to be ashamed of. We're all human. We all have things we need to work on. That's life. But if you're someone who can be honest about that and say, oof, I'm going to work on that now, that's attractive. That shows that you have a solid character, and that's the type of person a woman is looking to spend the rest of her life with. And your next sign you're attractive and can get your dream girl is if you do not let the past hold you back. You don't let the past define you. You acknowledge it, you learn from it, and you move forward. You create your new future. Thank you so much for watching, my wonderful friend. If you learned something new, be sure to give me a big thumbs up and tell me about it in the comments below. I want to hear which of these signs surprised you the most. Seriously, tell me about it. And if you would like more videos like this one, please make sure you comment New Year to let me know. If you have not yet subscribed, be sure to do that now and ring the notification bell. And if you have a friend who needs to know this, please make sure you share it with him, and I would love it if you would shout it out on social media. If we're not yet friends on social media, we really need to be, so make sure you check out the links for that in the description below. A little bit of a spoiler, I do share exclusive content in my Instagram stories, so make sure you at least follow me on Instagram. Thank you so much again, my amazing friend, and have an amazing day. All right, first video of 2021. Let's make it a good one, guys. Hello, my wonderful friend, and okay, let's be honest. Wait, what? You should always be honest. The truth is, we are all human, right? If you're not human, that's a little weird. Just kidding. I don't know where that came from. Oh, I had too much sugar. I need to calm down. Okay, things are going better. I'm starting to talk more like a normal person. If we're not yet friends on social media, I don't know what just happened to my brain.